Wedges and screws. Mr. Douglas is making a wooden table and some chairs for the backyard with the help of some simple machines. In this topic, we shall learn about the wedges and screws. Mr. Douglas is using the log to make the table. He needs to chop the log into smaller pieces. To cut the thick log of wood, he has to use a lot of force. To make it easier, he is now using a simple machine, the wedge. A wedge is basically an inclined plane. Wedges may have one or two sloping sides. Now let us see how it works. With a knock of the hammer, Mr. Douglas has pushed the wedge into the log. Notice how the effort of pushing it in has caused a spreading force and split the log into two halves? This happens because the force of the hammer pounding on the flat end of the wedge drives the sharp end of the wedge deeper and deeper into the wood. Having cut the log, he needs to scrape off some of the uneven surface with a chisel. A chisel is also a type of wedge. It uses a forward driving force and turns it into a sideways force. The plank is now ready, and so are the legs of the table. To assemble the table, Mr. Douglas is using screws. Look at the screw closely. It is an inclined plane wrapped around a cylinder. Like a wedge, a screw moves into the material. Look, after an initial tap on the head of the big screw, Mr. Douglas is turning the screw. A screw turns a small rotational force into a larger forward driving force. He is also using some smaller screws to fix the leg properly. The inclined plane of a screw can be steep or shallow. That is, the threads can be far apart, as in a big screw, or close together, as in a smaller screw. The difference is, the farther apart the threads, the faster a screw moves into a material with each turn. But it takes more effort. Looks like the table is almost ready. And with this, we conclude our lesson on wedges and screws. Summary. Wedge is a simple machine. It is a type of inclined plane. Wedges can be used to split things apart. Screw is another simple machine. The screw is also a type of inclined plane. A screw turns a small rotational force into a larger forward driving force.